Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Your glasses are on the screen. How are you? Shalom Aleichem to all the Chashuv Ger. Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? From? Mindy Goldstein from Borbach. Okay, we're not going to tell anybody. And you? Boys, you stand from Borbach, Ochid. Listen, I'm sitting here and looking, and you can't get used to it. You push it, you're not allowed to get used to it, so I'm going to say it again. Look what we have over here. We have, I don't know, a Haimish Yid. Let's call him a Haimish Yid. Then we have a Hasidish Yid. Then we have, I don't know how to describe Mendy. He went to Litvish yeshivas, but he married a Chassid. I'm going to call him Litvak. He's almost Litvish. Then we have this. We can't describe everybody, but then we have the Kippas Rugaz over here, a whole section, sitting right next to a Chassid from Borough Park with a long beard and pious. We have Rabbi Lida over here with his talis and tefillin. Today, I don't know, probably he doesn't think he could have the right machshavah, so he took his tefillin off. No, you can't get used to it. Rabbi said, you can't get used to this. The Kippas Rugaz with the he took. Wait, we're gonna get It's unbelievable. No, seriously, take it in, and don't get used to it. The blue shirt, the white shirt, the green shirt, the cowboy hat, gewaldig, unbelievable. Rabbi said, a few more pictures from Purim. Oh, we have to decide who gets the first. I think the first prize is obvious. The Shaila is the second prize. The potato head was unbelievable. Yeah, I think the whole Olam voted. We had 17,000 votes for the first prize. That's a lot. Rav Isaac Weinberg and Moshe Weinberg and son. I don't know who all these people are. Your favorite Talmidim from the Shabbaton have an amazing Purim Rebbe. I think that kid is trying to dress up like me. And here you have Tzahal with MDY. The MDY Tzahal. Shaila's, that's on the fridge. I don't know, it's on the fridge or something. It's a picture. My grandchildren in Buddha Park, he says. Meyer Fishman. Rabbi Isai, you all saw, I don't know if you all saw, there was Trump. He has a shtickle ADD, it seems like, and in the middle of one of his press conferences, all of a sudden he looks at JD Vance and he goes, your socks, they're distracting me. Whoa, what's up with the socks? So somebody chapped that it wasn't stam socks. These are, here, let me show you.
By the way, I have to speak of inflation. I love these socks. What's with these socks?
It's in honor of the chief.
I'm trying to stay focused, but I'm very impressed with the VP's.
Okay. Those who don't know, the Israelis didn't chap so. They don't know about the MDY socks. They don't know about it. But that's, even Trump chaps. In the middle of it can be very distracting. Yeah. I was where was I? In Manchester. I was in Manchester and giving a shir in the nice piece medrash, and I looked down, and I'm not the entire row, they're all wearing MDY socks. It just so had like 5 guys all wearing the MDY socks.
Manchester Daf Yomi.
Yeah. What is this?
Good morning,
This is Shmuel Burekevich talking about the UK.
It's not about the Daf, but the Yomi.
I don't know if you drank yet. Ich weiß nicht.
It's not about the Daf, but the Yomi. Dear friends, I wish you, from the depth of my heart, a freilich and pirum, kalaposhiat noisemroi. I'm giving you the bruche. We should continue growing together in steigen avodas Hashem in Torah. What
No, learning Torah before the Megillah, before davening on Purim.
Utilize the time. We should only hear simchas together. Share simchas, eine von zweiten Gesundheit, der Chubas Hadas. We should be able to serve Hashem with simcha.
Shkoyach. MDY Wives, Pesach Cookbook. Ayin Khan, if you have any geschmacka recipes that you want to send in, trying to be mechazik the women of MDY. The Masechta sponsors, Before Shmuel Ben Chana, Ettel, and Yosef Chaim, Shmuel Ben Alte Nechama by the grateful family, anonymous, for that Hatzlacha, Berukhness, Begashmiyos, Cohn, in memory of Yechiel Moshe Ben Chaim, who started learning Daf Yomi at age 70 and continued for 32 years until he was nifter, anonymous, for the unity of the Jewish people. Glenn Esterson, with love and gratitude from Wilmington, North Carolina, thank you for enriching my life with Torah. Monthly sponsors, leading Nishma Zechariah Ben Moshe, leading Nishma Zechariah Bas Yosef, thank you. Binyomin Rosenfeld, Hatzlacha be Parnasa, Yosef Ben Chaya Sara, Hatzlacha Berухnיות ובגשמיות, leading Nishma the fallen hostages, Ariel Ben Shiri, Kfir Ben Shiri, Shiri bat Margit, Parnasa berevach Baruch Tzvi Nisim Ben Shoshana Leah, and by Actualize. Coil sponsors, Yaakov Ben Sari, Mishpachtoi, Lebrocha v'Hatzlacha. Weekly sponsors, Coffee of the Week, L'schus of the Force Hadmor Mevision, Tzmerenu, Rav Yisrael, Ben Leah Esther Shlita. It reminds me, I wasn't planning on saying this, but it's 30 days before Pesach. Benny took upon himself to raise at least 10,000 shekel per younger light for Pesach. He's going to give them a package. It's not so much cash as much as some cash, but suit, hat, vacuum cleaner, meat, fish, 10,000 shekel each. We have most of it. If anybody wants to be mishtatif, what? Yeah. There's going to be a gift for the wives, bemis. There's going to be gifts for the wives. There's going to be gifts for the kids. It's a serious package. If anybody wants to be mishtatif, you know where to reach us. Daily sponsors: Gidon and Rivka, Jaffa, Elias Neshama, Lisa, Mariana, Aviva, Bas Ze'ev, and Akiva Star Simon, getting closer to the first Daf Yomi Sechta. Thanks to the amazing Rebbe Yesher Koyach Akiva Star. And we have MDY Kids Monthly, Innovation, Zechus, for official Chonan Akiva, Rifki and Mrs. Stefansky Yesher Koyach. Art of the Month, Refu Shlema for Yehonatan Eitan Ben Basheva Brocha, a young guy from our community. He's only 48, maybe. 48. And he needs a Refu Shlema Bekorov for Schus, for Eli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable for so many, in honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Rabbi Isai, today we have the Schus to start the famous Perek Chelek. No, later. Chelek is a very famous Perek because it's all Agadita. I don't think there's a single Tosfos in 23 daf. It goes all the way to the end of Masechta. We're going to start it soon. I mentioned that it was, according to a lot, it was supposed to be the second to last parak. It seems like from Rashi almost that it's, we'll see soon. I'm probably going to forget because I forgot to tell Israel. It seems from Rashi that it's meant to be there. I'll call upon him, it's Geshmak, it's all stories and Agadta. And before we get there, we have to do the sugya over here on Daf Peites Amud Beis. Torah Rabban on 6 lines from the bottom. Navi Shehidiach V'skila. We have Machlokes. What is a Navi? Navi, since he's such a chashav person, he talks to Rebbeinu Shalom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives him messages to tell to Klal Yisrael, and he tries to convince people to do avodah zara. He gets skila. Reb Shimon Omer bechenek. Machlokes. Does he get chenek or does he get skila? So the Gemara on Amud Aleph starts off Machlokes, and the Gemara starts saying what exactly is the Machlokes. But before that, we have Madiche Ir Anidachas, Beskila, Reb Shimon Omer Bechenek. The same misas, but this is somebody who convinces most of the city to perform avodah zara. Madiche Ir Anidachas, Beskila, Reb Shimon Omer Bechenek. So, truth is, we have 3 things here. Here we have a Navi Shediach, or Madiche Ir Anidachas. Those are the 2 things we're talking about now. And we have a 3rd thing called a mesis. That's a person who tries to convince an individual to do avodah zara. It's very similar to Medicha Ir Nidachas. And Medicha Ir Nidachas is somebody who convinces many people, the whole city. Mesis is an individual. And we also spoke about a Navi that convinces somebody to do avodah zara. So we had in the 2 bottom ones, a Navi and a Medicha Ir Nidachas, we had a machlokes between Chachamim and Reb Shimon. Is it skila or chenek? So now the Gemara just says, where do we learn this from? Navi Shediach Beskila. Where do we see the Navi? The bottom right corner. Navi Shediach. That's my time of the Rabbana. What's this for? Asya Hadocha Memesis. So you see, there's an arrow. We learn it from Mesis. Navi, we learn from Mesis. Why? Because look at the Psukim. The Psukim, they both say Lahadichacha. First pasuk is V'hanavi. It's talking about a Navi. I'm learning a Navi from the bottom pasuk of a mesis. It says before in the pasuk. Uskaltoi, the skila, ba'avan of a mesis, an individual. Ladichacha. It says the same word. Ladichacha. That's Xeris Shava. No, so how come Reb Shimon doesn't learn ladichacha? Because he never received that. The Messiah, he doesn't have a tradition to that Xeris Shava. So he can't learn that Xeris Shava. So he's going to be stuck with just Hanaviyahu Yumas. What's Yumas? The first top line, it says Yumas. What's Yumas? Yumas in the Torah. If you don't know what it is, what is it? Chenek. So Meli says Chenek. Great. So let's go back over here. This Chachamim, they learn Navi. They have a Xeris Shava, Navi, to a Mesis. I don't have Xeris Shava, but it says Yumas, and Mela, Misa means okay, next. Now we have the next one. Check this out. Either you learn it from the Mesis, or you can learn from Navi, which you learned from already from Mesis. You can learn any way you want now. If you're wondering why those arrows were there before, it's because I did the chart today, so you don't have the Yoshi touches. Here, if you want to see the psukim, these are the original, right? It says Ladichacha by Navi and it says Ladichacha by Mesis. We learned the bottom from the top, and now once we learn both of them are skila, and now we have another passage that says Vayadichos Yoshvei Iram Leimar, another hadacha. So now I can learn it. I can learn this hadacha to any one of these. So basically, it's going to look as such. I learn Medicha either from a mesis where it says Mefurish skila, or Navi Shediach where it doesn't say Mefurish, but I learn from Xeris Shava to mesis. Reb Shimon, Gomar hadacha minavi. He says, no, I'm only going this way. Oh, my arrows. Mediach, you learn from a Navi, not from mesis. Why? So first of all, he does have a Messiah that in that pasuk Mediach where it says Vayidiach, whatever the Vayedichu, that he has a Messiah that's Xeris Shava. Because he doesn't know to where. Sometimes the Messiah gives you a word and doesn't tell you how to learn it. So it says Vayedichu. Here, this one, right? Vayedichu. You should know, as Rebbe told him, this is Xeris Shava. Where exactly do you do Xeris Shava? Do you do it to the top pasuk or the bottom pasuk? Do you do it to the Navi or to the Mesis? That I don't know. So he says he decided on his own that it goes to the Navi. Ask the Gemara, why do you point the arrow that way? Point it to the Mesis. Look, the two bottom ones are individuals that try to convince a tzibur. He's either convincing an entire city, or a Navi. What is the Navi doing? Usually, he talks to the Rabbim. He's giving a nevuah to the Klal Yisrael. He's not doing it to an individual. Says Gemara, Ad Rabbah. And don't learn from the individual on top. Makes more sense to learn from the Rabbim. Ad Rabbah, why would you learn from a Navi? A Navi is chashav. A Navi is somebody that gives nevuah to Klal Yisrael. Learn from the individual. A simple balabas who try to convince somebody to do Avodah Zarah is similar to a simple balabas that try to convince an entire city to do Avodah Zarah. You don't have your Navi. We saw the svara. This Navi guy, watch the chair. Thank you. The Hedyoit, this Navi is not a Navi anymore. He's the worst guy. He's worse than Amaretz. He's a Navi that's trying to convince other people to do Avodah Zarah. So he's not a Navi anymore. Right now, he's not a Navi. So you can learn from him. All right. So I benefited a tremendous amount from the art scroll, the Schattenstein, and even from their charts, and I have a shus from them to use their charts. But I just want to show you these kinds of charts I don't like at all. They're too confusing. So did it much simpler, I think. We're gonna have three things instead of here. no, Bemis, look at this. It's like too much. It's too much information in these charts. I don't think, to me, it doesn't help me at all, this kind of chart. If you want to find one individual thing, but to understand the sugya, here, I'm not going to go there yet. I'm going to go straight here. Fine. There's three things, basically. There's somebody that's oiker, a little bit of a mitzvah. Here, you put a lulav and esrog. You see the lulav and esrog here on the top? There's a lulav and esrog. It's a mashal, yeah? If a Navi comes, we're talking about a Navi. A Navi comes and says, this year we're not going to shake a lulav, the second, whatever it is. You're not going to shake a lulav this year, but you shake it next year. He's oiker some of the mitzvah. Not the entire, he's not saying don't do the mitzvah forever, for some of the time. Today, don't wear tefillin today, but you could wear tomorrow. There's no machlokes, everybody agrees, potter. Okay, so that's easy. It's all easy, actually. If somebody's oiker avodah zarah, or even a small part of avodah zarah, the entire avodah zarah or a small part of avodah zarah, it says you're allowed to do avodah zarah on Sunday. You can't do it on Monday, Tuesday. Just a little bit of avodah zarah. So there's no machlokes that you're chayiv misa, but the machlokes will be what misa? Is it skila or chenek? So that's the machlokes. That you're chayiv misa, that's pacha, you're chayiv misa. Okay, now, and one last thing, what if you oiker lulav completely, forever? So according to everybody, chayiv misa. But once again, Rav Chisda says there's no machlokes at all, that everybody agrees that it's chenek. And Rav Menuna says, no, there's the same exact machlokes. Whoever told you that if you uproot avodah zarah, that same pasuk talks about uprooting a mitzvah completely, and memela, whatever you do in avodah zarah, you do by a mitzvah. So avodah zarah is a machlokes between Rabbanan and Reb Shimon. Is it skila or chenek? So too, if you oiker a complete mitzvah, is it skila or chenek? That's it. That's the whole sugya. Yeah.
Why you potter?
Oh, why you potter? Because it's gzeres hakasuv. The Torah says you have to be oiker the entire thing. It says davar, the entire thing, below chatzi davar. It's gzeres hakasuv. Logically, there's no explanation. That's what Hashem said. But it has its own pasuk, its own thing. It's different. So, let's see. Machlokes. So, Omer Rav Chisda. That's Rav Chisda in the bottom. Machlokes ba'oiker haguf da'avodah zarah. If you uproot the entire avodah zarah and you say there's no avodah zarah from now on, so the machlokes is, do you get skila or chenek? Right? There's no machlokes that you get killed. Everybody says you get killed. How? Skila or chenek? They're like the two opposites, basically. Not according to Reb Shimon so much, but chenek's towards the bottom, skila's towards the top in severity. V'kiyom miktzas u'bitom miktzas da'avodah zarah. Okay, so there's no difference. You oiker a lot of avodah zarah, a little avodah zarah. Rachmana Omar min haderech, afilu miktzas haderech. Even a little bit of avodah zarah, you oiker it. We're very, very machmir, because that's terrible. When a navi claims that he spoke to the Rebbeinu Shalom, the Rebbeinu Shalom told him he should do avodah zarah. That's like the worst of the worst. So even a small part of it reminds me of a famous mashal, because it says miktzas min haderech. There was a guy, a Kfir was on a train. I don't know if you're ever in Europe. They have chashva trains, even at the Yamazed, they have the first class, the middle class, the regular for the paupers, like the regular, the ganz geschmack seats, but this for the paupers, they talk, it's a whole thing over there, you can't talk that, you have to do this. Everybody has their own ticket, you have a seat that says the number, the conductor comes, make sure that you're sitting on that seat that you bought. The guy's sitting in first class with the bed, the whole thing, and all of a sudden he sees the schnorr of the city sitting in first class. So he goes over and says, my hi. He says, my entire life I had a dream to be on first class. I saved a lot of money, saved. It's enough for one stop. One stop? What are you going to do one stop? He says, I'm going to get off the train, I'm going to go collecting. The train gets to the stop, the guy gets off. As soon as the train starts moving, he realizes, the Kfir says, wait a minute. It's a mining town. It's closed now. It's the middle of the winter. There's nobody there. There's just a platform for trains to, chop another train. What is this guy going to do? He can't even collect money. There's nobody to collect from. So Nimshal is, a lot of people on Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah, they come with this year I'm going to do this. They reach for the sky. They go first class, but it only lasts for like one stop. It goes for a week, 2 weeks, and then they get off and they have nothing. They're Kabbalah for the rest of the year. So in Mela, I don't know. I don't think it's such a davar katan, but maybe something more achievable is Daf Yomi. Oh. But while I was saying this, I saw that we have a chashuv guest. What's your name, Tzaddik? Yosef from where?
Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado. You ski shtickle?
Just came 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks.
Live in Denver only 5 weeks ago. So you do the share in Denver? Yeah, you're a guest.
No, I'm fine. I moved to the Chimney.
You moved to Bet Shemesh. Shamalei, how long ago?
5 weeks ago.
Mazel tov, another guy. Wow. So that's it. So you're not going to ski anymore. Okay, I got it. Wait a minute. Rabbi Yosef, I just noticed. We have Reb David here. I didn't notice him yesterday. I went to buy wine in Piap. It was like my first time ever in that mall. But I had to go, the Kavod Purim. And Reb David was there selling wine. I said, there's a shir going on here. Maybe you should join. He was here yesterday, he's here today. So anybody see him on the way out, say hello to him and convince him to come. Hi, what's your last name, Reb David? Schwartzberg. Looks like a finer guy. No, so far as geschmack, it's okay. Very good. Okay, huh? He knows wine. Says he does. Good, Givaldi. Yeah, he didn't let me down. I got some good wines. What? He's a Levi. So Doilam knows him. Doilam knows him here. Good. So Nu talk to him. You're the reason. Again, you're taking credit. Who's the other guy you took credit? Benny. Okay. No, you know what? I'm happy you said that. Now I know I'm the one that got Benny. Until now I believed you that you brought Benny. Now I have it's me. It's not even a machlokes. He just settled the machlokes. So it's like, okay, you want to take credit for Benny. Now he tells me him. He came the day after I bought the wine in Piap. When did you try to convince him? 6 months ago? Okay. Weiter. You see the Weiter live? You saw the Weiter live? You saw it. The front seat. You get to see it. Zog the Gemara. But you don't have Nachman Seltzer. He's not here today. It's a different matter. All right. So where are we holding? I said this. Next. 3 lines down. If you're going to go to, let's leave this thing on here. If you're talking about uprooting any other mitzvah completely, Divrei Akol B'Chenek says Rav Chizda. You look on the bottom purple thing. It says Rav Chizda holds its chenek. No machlokes in that. Rav Hamnuna says there is machlokes. It's identical to trying to uproot the entire Avodah Zarah. Uprooting a mitzvah like a lulav. I don't know if you noticed there because it comes back. I wouldn't have done what he did. Look over here. There's a lulav here. It was supposed to be a lulav here. Interesting. I saw this morning a lulav. Here, the lulav and the lulav ran away. You saw? Because he's oiker the mitzvah legamri. Fine. But if you take away a little bit of a mitzvah, you say for a certain amount of time, that's a little bit of a mitzvah, not half a mitzvah. But you say today there's no tefillin, divrei akol potter. So that remains on top. You see, it says divrei akol potter. That is going to remain for the rest of the sugya. Why? Like Avi asks, why? Because it says in the pasuk, ashiyaz l'daber davar. It has to be a full thing, not a half a thing. If a Navi tries to uproot a half, he doesn't get Misa. He gets something else, but not Misa. Masav Rav Hamnuna, Misa for that day. Lo leches, I have a big problem with what you said. Why? Because if you look at the pasuk, we had this pasuk before. Lo leches ba. He says, look, it's mashra from the pasuk that we're not talking about Avodah Zarah. We're talking about all mitzvahs. Why? Because it says a mitzvah saseh and a mitzvah loy saseh. Avodah Zarah doesn't have a mitzvah saseh. What's a mitzvah saseh? To do Avodah Zarah. So it's a mitzvah saseh. We're talking about a lulav. So the pasuk is talking about other mitzvahs, not just Avodah Zarah. Matzah Rav Hamnuna lelecha zu mitzvah saseh, ba zu mitzvah loy saseh. If you talk about Avodah Zarah, if you tell me this pasuk is talking about only Avodah Zarah, I say that Avodah Zarah nishkachla. Elamai, the pasuk is talking about other mitzvahs. The Gemara of Chizda v'nitatz them. No, there is a mitzvah saseh in Avodah Zarah, which is break the Avodah Zarah. There is a mitzvah saseh, and he said, don't break the Avodah Zarah for that day, whatever it is. So Mela, but Rav Hamnuna doesn't like that. And look what Rav Hamnuna does. Mela says Rav Hamnuna, that's the whole sugya. This nekuda right now. This pasuk on top, with Anoveyahu is talking about Avodah Zarah, but it's also talking about other mitzvahs. It's talking about everything. It's talking about uprooting a lulav and uprooting Avodah Zarah. And I have a machlokes, what you do for the misa. Is it skila or is it chenek? So Mela, if you go back to the chart, that's why on the bottom left corner, says Rav Hamnuna, it's like Avodah Zarah, 2 arrows at the top. Avodah Zarah, and oiker mitzvah legamri, the two bottom things, the middle guy and the bottom guy are identical, says the Rav Nuna. Why? Because it's the same pasuk. Rav Nuna Omar, machlokes ba Yaakov ben Aben Azor ben Mishar mitzvahs v'kiyam mixas ubitul mixas david zara. Whether you uproot the whole avodah zarah, uproot half the day of avodah zarah, derech man Omar min haderech afilu mixas haderech. It doesn't matter how much. Aval kiyum mixas ubitul mixas b'shar mitzvahs. Or the top guy, a little bit of a mitzvah because it says Divrei Hakol Potter. Why Avi? Why Potter? Zeres Hakasu. Finished. Torah Rabbanon. Hamisnava, but the Gemara has a bomb kasha here on Rav Menuna, on everything that we just said. It says, let's read it together and you'll see what the problem is. Hamisnavet lakar dovim min Torah. If somebody says nevuah to uproot something from the Torah completely, so let's go to the list over here, the bottom. Okay, that's the bottom one. Ha'ikir mitzvah legamrei. Yechayev, but there's a machlokes what you get. According to Rav Chizda, everybody agrees you get chenek. According to Rav Nuna, it depends. According to Rabban, it's skil. According to Rav Shimon, it's chenek. So how would you say it if you had to say such a thing? What would you say? You would say either chenek, skila. It doesn't say that. What does it say? It's mashal. There's no machlokes. You're telling me there is a machlokes and it says chayav. There's no machlokes. Let's go weiter. L'kayim mixas ulevato mixas. Oh, top one. Top one. What does the top one say? Oike mixas mitzvah. What's the halacha? Potter. According to everyone. Why Avi? There's a kosov. Now let's read inside. L'kayim mixas ulevato mixas. Reb Shimon poiter. No, it doesn't say l'kula alma potter. It says Reb Shimon is poiter. It's mashma that according to somebody else, you're chayiv. Is another problem. Third problem. Oh, that's the middle guy. He mixes avodah Divrei Hakol chayiv. It says over here. And what do we have by us? Chayiv, but there's machlokes. What do you get? Either a bon and skila or Shimon chenek. It shouldn't say that. It should say what it is. Imagine there's no machlokes in that. Chayiv means there's no machlokes. Says the Gemara, okay. Abai is over looking Rav Chizda, Umatar is looking Rav Chizda. Abai is going to go like the purple on the bottom, the Rav Chizda, that according to everybody, this chenek when it comes to Oiker Mitzvah Gamri. And Memela, I'm going to have to explain the rest of the brisa like Rav Chizda. Rava Savalo Rav Nuna. Rava is like the bottom left corner. Rav Nuna says that Avodah Zarah and mitzvahs are the same. And the same machlokes that we have by Avodah Zarah, we have by all mitzvahs, either it's skila or chenek. Abai Savalo Rav Chizda, Umatar is looking Rav Chizda. What does he do? If he's trying, what did he say? Rabbi Savalok Rav Nuna, Mataris Lok Rav Nuna. Abai Savalok Rav Chizda. Let's go back. That he holds like Rav Chizda, Mataris Lok Rav Chizda. Hamisnavi Lakir Dov Menat Torah. If you're trying to uproot one of the mitzvahs, let's say lulav and esrog, Divrei Hakol bechenek. Rav Chizda holds no machlokes is chenek. L'kayim mixas levatel mixas. Reb Shimon poiter everyone din Rabbana. What was the question? Why does it say Reb Shimon poiter? It should say machlokes. It should say it seems like this is machlokes. Reb Shimon poiter and Chachamim are going to be mechayiv. No. You're right. According to everybody, potter. But the question remains. So why does it say Reb Shimon poiter? It should just say potter. The answer is that you need Rashi. That what? The reason why it says Reb Shimon and not to say the Kula Alma, because it says Reb Shimon potters from Chenek. What does Reb Shimon poiter mean? Reb Shimon poiter from what? From Chenek. Because Reb Shimon always says Chenek. And the rest, he says Chenek. Right? Hoiker Avodah Zarah makes Avodah Zarah Chenek. Reb Shimon says potter from Chenek. So Memela from there I learned when it says Chayiv in this brisa, it means Chayiv from Chenek. That's the Nakuda. The reason why it says Reb Shimon, not because somebody argues on Reb Shimon, just to tell you what are you potter from. Reb Shimon potter from Chenek. And Memela, then I'll know that Chayiv means Chayiv Chenek. Okay, it's a little bit, it should have said Chayiv Chenek maybe instead of Reb Shimon potter, but okay. That's how he's answering. It's a good kasha, but I have to answer something. Even if it's a chatzi avodah zarah, chayav. What do you get? Margit this way. According to Chacham, skila. According to Reb Shimon, chenek. The main point is that if you mevat a little bit of avodah zarah, it's like a novi she'ediach. What is that? So we have machlokes. Novi she'ediach. We have machlokes between Rabban and Reb Shimon. Is it skila or chenek? Rava Savalok, Rav Amnuna, Umataris Lok Rav Amnuna. Rava is of the opinion, the bottom left corner, Rav Amnuna, it says Avodah Zarah and Oiker, a complete mitzvah, that is the same machlokes. whether it's skila or chenek. If somebody wants to uproot something from the Torah, it doesn't matter if it's Avodah Zarah or other mitzvahs, like we learned from the pasuk, right? He holds that whole pasuk is talking about all the mitzvahs and Avodah Zarah. Chayev. What are you chayev? Either skila or chenek. L'kayim makes this levatim mitzvahs b'shar mitzvahs. The top one, you want to be mevat a little bit of a mitzvah. Reb Shimon poiter v'adin l'rabbanan. No, so why does it say Reb Shimon? Now you have to answer something else, different, slightly different, because the other teretz that we said before doesn't work here. Why does it say Reb Shimon poiter? Because even from chenek, which is the lowest level misa, or one of the lowest, even that you're chayev. You're what?
Yeah,
not only skila, even chenek. Reb Shimon poiter v'adin l'rabbanan. Huh?
Reb Shimon Shitasi, it's not the lowest.
It's not the lowest, but in this case, it's lower than skila. Lower than skila. We're not saying from the whole chart. Just if you have the choice, Chacham says skila, and Reb Shimon says chenek. Even Reb Shimon it says potter. What did the Rabban? We're almost done, mamish. One more line. And if you do, you take away, the Navi comes around and he says, let's be invited a little bit of Avodah Zarah. Chayiv, markidisnei, either according to Chacham you get skila, according to Reb Shimon you get chenek. New sugya. Anything on Navi will come. Let's say Eliyahu Navi comes and he says, today we're going to shech the carbon outside the Beis Hamikdash. Never happened before. He comes, you listen to him. Shmaloi. Chutz ma'avodah zarah. If Eliyahu Navi comes and says, today we're going to worship Avodah Zarah as Klal Yisrael, I want you to worship Avodah Zarah. You do not listen to Eliyahu Navi. Even if he does something like this, here, check this out. If he's able to do that, he does kishuf. He's able to take the sun and move it around. It's nothing. Just because you do a moifus doesn't allow you to do Avodah Zarah. A moifus, if somebody does the moifus and then tells you to be over on something else in the Torah, then you can listen to him. The Rebbeinu Shalom understood how difficult Avodah Zarah is. Even if this person, this Navi, has a power to stop the sun, can't listen to him. They say about Shabtai Tzvi, that's why he was so successful. He's doing moifsim, did all sorts of crazy things, and people just, they didn't know what to do. They were listening to him. He's Mashiach, whatever. He was actually able to do moifsim. That's what they say. It's impossible what you're saying. It's impossible that the Rebbeinu Shalom would allow a Russia to move the sun. Ella, there was a person, Chananya ben Azur Navi, who actually did moifsim when he was a tzaddik. And people would believe him because last year he was doing moifsim when he was a tzaddik, but today he's not a tzaddik. That's the problem. So we had this case. We have this Bas Kohen, the daughter of a Kohen. This is mamish. This should be kosher l'kol days because this is a potato head lachluchas. It's like before it was a drawn woman of lachluchas. No, this is a potato head lachluchas. She's a Bas Kohen. Bas Kohen, who Adam came and said she was mizana. What's that lacha? Sreifa. Now, when the Adam Zayimim, these two Adam were found to be Zayimim. So now what do? They should get Sreifa l'chayra. Why? Because they tried, they tried to get her Sreifa. They should also get, but there's a special miyot, he b'Sreifa, v'ein Zayimel b'Sreifa, and ein Bayala b'Sreifa. So, we're not really, how do you know that the Adam get a different oynish? It should stop by lasis. Like you want to do. What's le'achiv to his brother? The halacha is that you get whatever misa you try to give the other person. There's a miut, sorry, he b'sreifa, v'en boya lo b'sreifa, not the zayim. He b'sreifa. I made a mistake before. I said in zayim. He b'sreifa comes to exclude v'en boya lo b'sreifa. The man doesn't get sreifa. Zayim idea, I don't know what to do with them. we have two options. They could get the misa that they try to give the man and or try to give the woman. Which one is it? And them loy hukshu im loy hukshu. Do we do a hekesh to her, to him? To the brothers. Who are the brothers? The Eidim. They get whatever the Eidim are getting. So the Eidim get what the boil gets. Lachiv the boil. You're right. Hadron aloch elu ha-nechnokim. Hadron aloch elu ha-nechnokim. Hadron aloch elu ha-nechnokim. There's a raffle for a laptop. So if you want, you can go onto the Daf Bat. If you have it, it's Geschmack thing. I use it almost every day. The Bat is on WhatsApp. You can make it one of you pin it as well. And you just write the word Daf in English, D-A-F, and the English Daf comes with all the charts and everything. Just that day's Daf comes onto your phone. And or you do Sanhedrin, Daf. I don't know if he did it. I asked him to do, Dave, you did it already? Daf? No, not yet. But you're right, Sanhedrin, Daf, Lamed, within 5 seconds, poof, the whole shit gets into your phone with all the charts. So you could also do raffle. In English also, the word raffle? Raffle. How do you get the bat? I don't know. They'll put it on the screen now. There's a certain WhatsApp. You join, and you're still getting a lot of hits. It's growing. How many, Baruch? What? Hundreds. Geschmack. I think it's a great tool. Because a lot of times I forget where I finished this year. You have it? No, I forget where it is. I just go, I push the word daf, boom, and I move the dial all the way to the end. And within, I don't have to, YouTube is a whole thing. It gives me this, and it goes to another Masechta, and it gives me other people's dafim. Like I write, Eli Stefansky daf. No, it gives me some other guy. I don't know. Every day somebody else. All right, says the Mishnah. Kol Yisrael yesh lam chelek l'olam haba. Every single person, Klal Yisrael, has a portion of olam haba. As Rabbi Aaron Kodesh said, but not every person, Klal Yisrael, has a chelek l'olam hazeh. You have to be a good yid to have chelek l'olam hazeh. Shenemar v'amech kulam tzadikim lo'olam yirshu oretz. Hold on. I got it. I got this. Like a soloist on this. Wait. You believe it? Israelis don't even know what this is. No, what's that? Boom, boom. Meitzer matoy. When you plant a branch, Maisi Yoda Lispar, HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes pride in Klal Yisrael. Pride, Lispar, takes pride in us. Kitzer, everybody has a chelik l'olam haba. Ve'elu she'elim chelik l'olam haba. Who doesn't have a portion? Ha'omer ein tchias ha'meisim min ha'Torah. It's unbelievable. If you just say, I don't believe, I believe in tchias ha'meisim, I do believe, I don't believe it's in the Torah, done. You're a goner. Ve'ein Torah min hashamayim. And if you say the Torah didn't come from Shamayim, ein l'cha chelik l'olam haba. V'apikoros. I have to tell you this because I said this last night. Maybe it was just a terrible delivery, and they all looked at me like this. I appreciated this. There's a guy in a school, and he was telling his teacher he doesn't believe in anything. He says, "What? You don't believe in Tchias HaMeisim?" He says, "No, I don't believe in Tchias HaMeisim." He said, "You better start believing in Tchias HaMeisim." He said, "Last week you told me that you went to your grandfather's funeral. Your grandfather's waiting for you in the office. You better start." I got the same reaction. Okay. I had enough. At least I had enough. Okay, so there's not a big enough Yemina. No, they got to come out the same amount of left. Try the Yiddish. Shkoyach. The Briskerov said there's no such thing as a nebuch apikoros. An apikoros is an apikoros. So in other words, if a person says, I went to this in the school, and this is what they taught me, this is what I know. I'm a tinik shenishba apikoros. There's no such thing. You're an apikoros. Even if you're a nebuch, you're a nebuch apikoros. There's no, you're apikoros and apikoros, afilo a nebuch apikoros. A nebuch apikoros is oichid apikoros. Sure. We'll go into it at a different time. Rebbe Kiva Omer, Ava koire b'sfarim achitzoinim. The sfarim achitzoinim. What is it called? That book, I don't even know. What is it called? The kids read Harry Potter. No, I don't know. We're going to see what it is. Sfarim achitzoinim. Ba'aloi cheshal amaka, a person, a whisperer. He says stuff to a womb. V'oimer kol ha'machala shesamti b'ntzrayim lo yosem alecha ki ani Hashem rifecha. He uses psukim on a wound. We're going to have to see what this is. Eloi chelik le'em haba. If you say Yudke Vavke with Hashem's name, you say Hashem's name like that, there's 3 kings and 4 regular people that don't have a chelik l'maba. They say that it doesn't mean only these 3. It means even these 3. Yeravam. Here, this is a good, Yoshi did this. Well, Klal Yisrael is trying to go La'alila Regel. Here, there's a picture of them going to Alila Regel, and he put the guards. He didn't let them go to Alila Regel, and in order to change their mind, what did he do? It's cool. Change the scenes. He gave them there. He made a new Avodah Zarah. Mamash Rosh Merusha didn't let them go to the Beis Hamikdash, and put the Degel Azov. He put his own things. He doesn't have a chelik l'maba. Achav started the Avodah Zarah, the Baal. Umenashe also Avodah Zarah everywhere. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Menashe yesh li chelik l'maba. Even though he's such a Rosh, he has a chelik l'maba. Shenema v'yispalel elov. He was already in the. They were going to boil him up in the pot, and he started davening. Vayishmat chinosoi vayshivei Yerushalayim l'machusa. Hakadosh Baruch Hu took him out of there, and he went back to be a king. You don't have a right. They went to the Mabba. Perhaps Hakadosh Baruch Hu listened to his tefillah, yes, but he wasn't mekabel his tshuva, maybe. Arba Yotos, Bilam, V'Doyeg, V'Achitoifel is the advisor of Shaul. Doyeg, Achitoifel is the advisor of David. One of the Sfarim says that if you want to remember this, it's Aleph Beis Gimel Daled. Achitoifel is Aleph, Bilam is Beis, Gechazi is Gimel, and Doyeg is Dalet. Aleph is Gimel Dalet. Correct. Good child. But you think that he was a Navi and he's a special person. They talk about it, that also, Ovdi Kechavim also have a little bit of Elam Haba, maybe it's not the same. This is a discussion, but a good kasha. Says Gemara, Kol Kach Lama. Why doesn't he get Elam Haba? Because he doesn't believe in Tchias HaMeisim. Tana hu kover b'Tchias HaMeisim. Hello, give me those svarim, please. Rabbi Pessin, who lives next door, I mentioned his name a few times this week already. Big Talmud Chacham. These 4 Svarim, all 4, it's called Midah Keneged Midah, and it's 4. Look how big. This is the amount of times in Shas and in Poskim that the idea of Midah Keneged Midah comes up. This is the whole Torah is Midah Keneged Midah. I know somebody that went over all these Svarim and knows them about Peh. No, never. Rav Pessin knows it. Shkoya. No, let's do them here. If anybody wants to, we have a shelf dedicated to Rav Pessin's farm right over there. Every 2 months, there's another sefer. Right. Every 2 months. He has how many svarim? 40? He loves svarim. He's addicted to svarim. So, it's a midah keneged midah. You don't believe in Tchias HaMeisim, okay, so you won't get Tchias HaMeisim. But you do it l'toiva also. Whatever you do, you're bal chesed, Hakadosh Baruch Hu gives you chesed. That. It works in all ways. How do I know that the midas of Hakadosh Baruch Hu was midah keneged midah? Shenemar b'yom Elisha shumu dvar Hashem kois mocha sa soiles b'shagol b'sosayim soyim b'shagol b'shar shoyim. Right? Elisha said, "There's no food. People are starving. They're eating pigeon waste. This is what they're eating." So he says, don't worry, tomorrow, not only is there going to be so much food, it's going to be really cheap. So he said, I don't believe you. You're a Navi, I don't believe you. Even if Hashem opens up the heavens and starts pouring rain, so it's going to rain. So one day it's going to grow and you're going to do everything and you sell it and it's going to be cheap. You're going to see with your own eyes. But I'm sorry, because you don't believe me now, you are not going to be able to eat. Daf Amud Beis. They trampled him and he died in the city gate. Says Gemara, who told you? It's because it's midah keneged midah. Maybe it's because Elisha cursed him. A curse of a tzaddik for nothing. It'll come. Says Gemara, why does it say the word bashar? My bashar, alis kishar, because he said that the prices aren't going to go down. So you see, that's because of midah keneged midah. Omer Binyomin. Huh? Sponsors. Turning the Daf, Adar Global Experts in International Financial Services, Dr. Allen and Barbara Listhouse. In memory of my dear father Joseph Listhouse on its 45th yard side, Mordechai Yosef Ben Ariel Shalom. Lirfo Asrivka Henyu Bashulam is Lirfo Satino Yecheskel Yedidya Ben Chama Shendel Net Life Realty Bet Shemesh and Moshe Einhorn. In honor of rebellion, the entire MDY family. All Rabbi Yochanan. So now we're going to have a sugya. Where do we see it in the Torah? Tomorrow we're going to have stronger sources, I believe. You should give truma to Aaron. Guess what? Aaron never made it into Eretz Yisrael. You have to have truma from Eretz Yisrael. He never made it in there. He's going to live forever. It never happened. Baruch was going to bring him back to life, and then we're going to give him truma, lost lava. That's the source. The very small tana la'aron ka'aron. Not true. La'aron means don't give it to, not to Aaron. It means give it to somebody like Aaron. Aaron chaver, just like Aaron is somebody who is a person who's careful, who's a chaver. He's careful with truma. He makes sure that he himself is not tummy, that the truma is not tummy. You have to give it to somebody who's a chaver. Like this guy on the screen. Why do you give them truma? That they should be stronger in the Torah of Hashem. If you keep Hashem's Torah, you get a portion. If you keep Hashem, ain't lo minas. If you give truma to a kohen hamaretz, it's as if you're giving it in front of a lion. Mari savik doris v'oichel, savik enu doris v'oichel. Ugh, mamash, I forgot to. I don't know if you guys saw this. It's very. A lion will either kill his prey and eat it, or something that kills his prey and it brings it somewhere else. Does something. One shot is that it really destroys it. Af kohen hamaretz savik oichel b'tahara, savik oichel b'tuma. I said yesterday because the in Bells there was the Purim Rav. His name is Yeshua Fink, and he said only a chassid is allowed to say this. So I'm saying it over, but there was a chassid last night who got up from Shiva. His name is Rabbi Friedman. He got up. His brother lived on this block, and his brother's nifter at a very young age. He just got up from Shiva yesterday. So he told me, as I said it, he said, "I'll tell you what happened." So this Purim Rav said, "A litvak." You tell him, it's shtayt mishnah berira azoy. He doesn't ask him. Shtayt, okay, finish shtayt. You tell a chassid, it says in mishnah berira like this. He says, yeah, but I have a minhag. The Rebbe does it like this. The Arizal like that. It's not so. So the guy says, yeah, it said in halacha a certain thing about Purim. Yeah, how you what kind of avelis you do on Purim. So the Rebbes came in and said, no, our minhag is anders. We do it like this and like this. He says, that's what they did. He says, what you're saying is exactly what happened to me yesterday on Purim. Okay? They said, no. But we pulled out the Shulchan Aruch. The guy does it. In Kfir and Azaya, the minhag. So he said, this Purim Rebbe said that he brought this Gemara, that the chassid is, nois lefnei Ari. You say the Arizal. And then that's how he passed. Okay. Nois lefnei Ari, Mari, so right. Rabbi Yochanan Omar, Av Goyim Lo Misa. If you give an Amoritz truma, you cause him to die. Like you're tripping him up. It's lefnei iver. Why? Because if you eat truma betuma, umesu, you get misa b'dei shomayim ki chalu. The very revelezi b'Yaakov tana af mesiyava, and you give him an avera ashma, you give him a guilt. Shenema v'yisi oisma b'in ashma b'ochem eskotchayim. Another source with Tchis HaMeisim in the Torah, Shenemar, V'gama ki Moisis brisi itam losis lohem. I'm going to give them. Who's them? They're not alive. The Avos. I'm going to give them as Eretz Canaan. What do you mean I'm going to give them? Don't say lochem lo'nemar. Don't say I'm going to give you the Dara Midbar Eretz Yisrael. Lohem. Those who are not alive anymore. El lohem. Mekan Tchis HaMeisim in the Torah. I'm going to give Eretz Yisrael to Avram, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Tzedekam Geshem Kom Simon. Shalu Tzdoikim Serving Gamliel. Yes, Serving Gamliel. How do you see in the Torah that? How do you know that Hakadosh Baruch Hu does Tchis HaMeisim? Omer lehem min haTorah min Avim min Ksuvim. Oh, no, sorry. V'lo yikiblu menu. He told them three sources: one from the Torah, one from the Avim, one from Ksuvim. They didn't accept. And the Gemara explains: Min haTorah d'chsev vayom Hashem el Moshe incha shoychi v'mavisecha v'kom. You are going to die and you're going to stand up. You're going to live. Omer lo v'dilma v'kom am zev zana. That's what everybody in this room would say. V'kom is not going on. Sorry, let me get this because you can't see it. Sorry. Become is not sorry. Become doesn't mean that Moshe Rabbeinu is going to stand up. It means there's a comma. Become am. The comma is going on the nation. Become am v'zana. They're going to do this. So we don't accept it. No, and what was he thinking? It's not a very good kasha what they asked him. He had a Messiah. They learned it from this positive. They said we don't have to accept your Messiah. We don't learn it like that. Okay, this is, you can't argue this, right? It says Mefurish, Yechiel Moshe, your dead are going to live. Neveilasi Yikumun, a Nevela is going to get up. Look, it's all about Shechni Afar. Those who are lying in the dirt, they're all going to get Kita lo Talecha. The Eretz Reform Tapil, yeah, from the Tal. It's going to be Tchis HaMeisim. Says Gemara, V'dilma Meisim Shechi Yecheskel. Who told you it's talking about the future? Maybe it's talking about something in the past. The Yecheskel. Check this out, a beautiful, beautiful drawing. I think you're going to love this. One of the best. Look closely over here. There's a bunch of dead people, a bunch of bones. Check this out. Look what he did. Ah. What? This is Yoshi. So a lot of people say, AI, yeah. Let's see you do this in AI. You have to, anyway. It's worth seeing again. There's the bones. It's amazing. So yeah. So somebody asked me in Kasha because Cleopatra is going to ask the question: Do they come up? Do they come alive with their clothing, or they're undressed? That was the question she asked on the bottom of the Amud. First Yoshi picture that they're dressed. It says. The famous pasuk. We said it many times in the Gemara. You're going to see why. It says that the lips are going to move. Says Gemara, yeah. Maybe that's the famous Rabbi Yochanan. If you say halacha in his name in this world, his lips move. There's a Rosh Shiva who was once saying Yeshir Klali. So somebody said to him, you caused the Rambam's mouth to stay open and Mashiach's foot got stuck. So what's pshat? Because it says that if you say something b'shem ha'imroi, so you may be gula lo'ilam, and if you say something from a tzaddik, so sifsei z'doi v'kever. So as soon as you start saying the Rambam zogt, so the Rambam opened his mouth, but then he started saying shtusim, so it got stuck over there. And also he said in the name of the Rambam, so you're going to bring a geula, so Mashiach started coming, and he got stuck. Because he's talking shtusim, that's what he's trying to tell him. Agopanim asked him a shah in Yevames, Daf Tzadik Vav. He asks, but what if a tzaddik doesn't have lips? How can they move? If most tzaddikim don't have a full body, so there's different pirushim. Maybe some want to say that's only when they have the lips. If later on their body decomposes, it doesn't apply. Some say no, the lips are always there. The kids are different pirushim. Yes, Shaimer. What did I skip? Like we said before, it goes to the generation previous that they're not alive anymore. The Romans asked Rabbi Shimon ben Chaim. Where do we see that Hakadosh Baruch? Two things. First of all, how do you know that Hakadosh Baruch knows the future? We learned the passage that we said before. Comma. Moshe Rabbeinu is going to have Tchis HaMesim. Ha'amazeh v'zana, which is hard to read like that, but you see, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows what the nation is going to do in the future. So they tell him, V'dilma v'kama ha'amazeh v'zana. Maybe it means, like you would read it, v'kama ha'amazeh, that the nation is going to stand up, v'zana. Amalu, okay, you're right. Okay, you want that? Great. So you got one out of the two from this passage. You agree to that part? Great. So you have, at least HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows the future. I don't know. I don't want to say this. Maybe it's crazy. I'm just thinking now. Maybe he was saying, okay, so if HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows the future, so he knows that in the future there's going to be Tchis HaMesim. But how do you know it in the Torah? I don't. Okay, fine. How do you know? Rabbi Yochanan again. Rabbi Yochanan never saw Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, but he says in the name of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, "Minayin shakadosh baruch hu mechayim meisim, v'yidei mashal asad liyos, shenemar himcha shoychev im avosecha v'kam." He does use this pasuk of v'kam, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Tanya Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Yosi. This I took the Sfarim of the Apikarsim and I was able to prove them wrong. You forged your Torah and you don't have anything out of it. Everybody that learned Gemara, hey, let's just take this pasuk. How would you learn this pasuk? Hikares, tikares. Hikares means Bailam. Tikares means yeah, but he learns it differently. He uses both those words just for the mazeh. Avoyna ba, which the Gemara is going to ask later, what does he do with it? Leimas, lav leilam ba. What do you mean? Avoyna ba must be leilam ba. No, I can learn both leilam mazeh and leilam ba from one from hikaris and the second from tikaris. Huh?
I'll disconnect.
I don't know. No, I can answer. You can't learn both from hikaris tikaris because I'll say hikaris tikaris is double lashon, like a lot of people speak in double. And in fact, we see them before. Hikaris tikaris Rebbe Akiva learns the pasuk that you can learn both olam hazeh and olam haba from the words tikaris. What does v'nichrasa mean? When? There's a third world that you're going to get karis. You're right. The word v'nichrasa is for olam hazeh. Hikaris leilam haba. Hikaris tikaris. No, I can't learn from hikaris tikaris because that's how people speak. Akoparim, one more line. Bein Rabbi Shmuel ben Rabbi Akiva avoyna ba mayavdi bei. From avoyna ba you learn olam haba. How do you learn? What do they do with it? Even if a person does tshuva, I'll think that he doesn't get olam haba. Rabbi say, real quickly, mamish quickly, at the end of the shir, I have a friend that went off the derech because when he was in Yeshiva Katan in high school, his Rebbeim pulled out a zayar that says if you do a certain avera, that's not mamish mefurish in the Torah, it's a remez in the Torah, do a certain avera, you don't get olam haba. Especially in Hasidic yeshivas, you don't get olam haba. So he says, listen, I wasn't oimed in the Zion, I'm not getting olam haba anyways, I'm done. And you can't even do tshuva, the zayar says. So I'm done. The Gemara says a lot of they bring the zayar and they say it's impossible. Maybe there's a lot of tirusim, but every aveira in this world has tshuva. Every single aveira in this world. We saw even Menashe, according to Tanakama, gets put up with his aveira. He's machshul. He's chaytu machti. Even he gets olam haba. So Yochav feels the tshuva. Tamalei ma'avina ba. Le'imati l'zman shavina ba. But if you do tshuva, Rabbi say, you zoichel olam haba. Have a wonderful day.